After UConn's scrimmage, exhibition, whatever you want to call it, their win over Boston College, Dan Hurley conducted a full post-game media session, and we got a lot of gems on what he liked and didn't like from his first impression of a real game of his team against a real opponent. He was impressed with Eric Ryby, a lot of praise for him with Terrace Reed out in that game. He was impressed with Malachi Smith, who played well in this game without Silas Demery. Remember, the presumed starting point guard and starting center for UConn were both unavailable. Did open the door for some other guys. Notably, though, Dan Hurley had some interesting things to say about Malachi Smith's potential role. It's been pretty consensusly accepted that UConn's starting lineup should be or will be Silas Demery, Solo Ball, Braylon Mullins, Alex Caravan, and Terrace Reed. However, Dan Hurley says that is still up for debate. In an answer that he gave at the podium in the post game, he talked about how important Malachi Smith has been to the defense, the energy he brings to this team. And then he said this, quote, whether he is a starter or whether he comes off the bench, based on what direction we go, I think he's going to be a major factor on this team, seeming to imply that Malachi Smith is still in contention for a starting spot on a team with Silas Demery, Solo Ball, and Braylon Mullins all in the backcourt. I do have to acknowledge the simple fact that this is something I've been pushing for 2 months. I said this on the UConn State of the Program. I said this on the transfer incoming video. My bold prediction for UConn was that Malachi Smith would be in the starting lineup. I'm afraid of how aligned I am with Dan Hurley right now. Do you buy this, or do you think that I'm just taking a victory lap over nothing?
No, I do buy this because, look, I think that Silas Demery, from a talent standpoint, is better than Malachi Smith. I think he has the size. I think he has just kind of maybe just a better basketball talent. Not to say Malachi Smith is too far off from him, but even in watching the summer stuff, and especially in that Boston College exhibition game, there's something about Malachi Smith's energy and the way he plays the game and how he plays it that I think very much aligns with Dan Hurley, and also I think just ups the level of this team. Now, I think either way you do this, it's like this is a really good backcourt slash point guard. If my backup point guard is Silas Demery, I'm really good at the point guard position. If my backup is Malachi Smith, I'm really good at the point guard position. But it's just something about Malachi Smith's play style, his energy, his toughness, his competitive spirit that I think really aligns with Dan Hurley and UConn's style. To the point where like I would not be surprised if he was a starter on this team.
Okay.
And I think that's not a I don't think that's a slight to UConn either. Like I said, I think both guys are really I think they have two starting level point guards on their team.
Okay. I think you hit the important point in your last sentence there. I think Malachi Smith is a starting point guard at the high major level. I love his game. I think Silas Demery is too. Um, so can I officially consider you on the bandwagon? Because it's one thing to say this might happen. It's another thing to say this should happen. And that's kind of why I've been raising a flag on this.
I don't see I'm not to the should portion of this.
Can I try and get you there?
You won't.
Can I try?
Yeah, sure.
Let me try.
Play.
You watched the exhibition, right? We
hmm
weren't on the recap of it. We had Dion and Riley do the recap, but
hmm
I'm sure you and I watched it. What'd you think of the guys that were that were active?
As far as like how I'll say
Or
this.
I mean, or the whole team. You can go watch the recap of that. That was way more in depth than what we're gonna do. But like first impressions of this UConn team without Terrace Reed and without Silas Demery, what'd you think?
Without Terrace specifically and maybe some other spots, I think there was a little bit of, in my opinion, maybe a little bit lapse of like what's the word? maybe like physicality or something like that.
Ah, it's almost like it's the same roster build as last year where they were really bad and struggled with perimeter defense and physicality the whole year.
Yeah.
Dion, you okay? You look a little sweaty.
So every August, September, my air conditioning breaks, and there's just nothing I can do about it.
Dude, that's tough. Out in California too? Like, I mean, what is it, like 80 degrees still there today?
Today's gonna be like 85, 90, but like peak summer, it gets like 110. My AC just doesn't ever hold up.
I mean, it sounds like it's a bummer that you can't take advantage of Duncan Mechanical Solutions because Duncan Mechanical Solutions is an HVAC company based in Angola, servicing the tri-state area, bringing commercial quality to the residential world with excellent customer service. You heard us talk about Duncan Mechanical last summer. If you need heating or air conditioning, kitchen or bath remodeling, or all of the above, Duncan Mechanical is the place to go in the Midwest. Go to DuncanMechanicalSolutions.com to take advantage and make sure you don't wind up like Dion. Because it's almost like when you try to play solo ball and a wing shooter that's just a shooter and Alex Caravan at the 2, 3, and 4 simultaneously. It's almost like you can't guard anyone and you're very finesse. Now, last year, a big part of their issues was that Samson Johnson wasn't good enough at center. And that, I mean, I don't want to diss Diarra because I thought Diarra was a great defender, but those guys just weren't good enough. And it made everything else louder around them. All I would say is this: I think if Silas Demery's at the 1 and Terrace Reed's at the 5, reminder, Terrace Reed was on last year's team. It's not like Terrace Reed's brand new. I know he's supposed to be a new guy. Terrace had every chance last year to change this team defensively. Like, you're basically trying to pitch me if Solo Ball and Caravan are still on the floor the whole game and Mullins is in the McNeely role, respectfully, I didn't love what I saw from Mullins in the exhibition. He looked fine, but he looks like just a shooter out there. You're telling me that Silas Demery in place of Hassan Diarra is going to take this team from a disaster defensively to awesome? I don't buy that for a second. So, like, I think the same issues that killed you all last season on the defensive end will still kill you. And Hurley is clearly worried about the defense.
And I think to that point though, that's why guys like Malachi Smith, even a guy like Jalen Stewart, I think are very important to this team. And Terrace Reed, for whatever you want to say, there is a physicality difference and a gap between him and Ryby.
There is, and Ryby's projects to be a great shot blocker one day too. I was impressed with Ryby for what it's worth, but the guys you just mentioned, the point is they got to be on the floor. Like, we can't sit here and be like Smith and Stewart are so important for this team. That's why they're the 7th and 8th guys. Like, to me, the fix here, what would change the identity of this team, both offensively and defensively, in I think a positive way, is exactly what I think Hurley's alluding to as a possibility here. You start Malachi Smith at point guard. He harasses the ball. He is a pass first playmaker who's one of the best in the country at that. He gets guys like Solo Ball and Braylon Mullins and Caravan the shots they want better than Demery does. Like, I just love the fit of that. You play him at point and he's great defensively. You play Demery at the 2. That's what changes this. If you play them together, those two guys would be hell for opposing backcourts.
So wait, so where's Solo Ball go if Demery's at the 2?
I would assume you play Ball at the 3 and it's small.
Oh, that's very small.
It's very small. But I think having 2+ defenders instead of 1 in the backcourt is everything and covers it up a little bit. You play Ball at the 3, you play Caravan at the 4, you play Reed at the 5. Braylon Mullins is now your 6th man extraordinaire. You can still play him starter minutes. And guess what? By the way, honestly, I think Hurley might have learned a tiny little lesson here. Do you really want Liam McNeely to be a one and done that goes 32nd overall? Or would you rather have year 2 of Liam McNeely? Like, me personally, I'd rather not put that guy on a platform on a team that gets eliminated in the round of 32, finishes 3rd in the Big East, and doesn't even land in the first round because he thinks he's a pro. No, Braylon, you're here to win a championship, right? Let's sacrifice and work on a 2-year plan. You're a 6th man this year. You're a starter next year. I think everybody wins in that situation. I think it's the best product for UConn.
Yeah, I think so too.
Good
And
pitch. Did I
it,
get
it
you?
it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I just have questions about Demery at the two.
Why? What's clunky there?
I just think that you're taking a guy who has never played without the ball out of his hands.
I mean, he could be the one in function offensively, but I actually like the offense better if you have Malachi Smith making plays for other guys than Demery trying to barrel through people.
That's fair. Also, Liam McNeely was the 29th pick. Please have some respect.
Who went second round? Somebody dropped to 32, and I remember being like, "That's crazy." I thought it was Liam.
No, Liam was selected with the 29th pick.
Huh.
No, now I gotta look this up. Was it 2025 draft?
Maybe I just thought he fell to the second, and instead he fell to the last pick of the first.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know who was in the second round that we were like, why does he keep falling?
Huh. Well, I'm sure Liam's not regretting anything here. By the way, I don't mean to say that, but boy, it's a little clunky to just take the one and done 4-star shooter year after year after year. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't an A+ year from McNeely or UConn or anyone involved, results wise.
That's fair.
I don't think you want Mullins to do the same. I think you want him back.
True.
Anyways, we'll see. What do you think happens? Regardless of what we think should happen, game one, what's the starting lineup?
Game one, I mean, it's October 15th, man. Now it's good. I'm gonna say Malachi. I'm gonna say solo ball. Mullins, Caravan, Reed.
So you don't have Demery available then. Is that what you're thinking?
I'm thinking, yeah. Or even if he is, like he's not starting right away.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Scrap everything I said, by the way, if it's just in place of Demery. That doesn't solve anything.
Oh, okay.
So